terrible intro. I'm starting this out. This will probably be like a every day, every other day, once a week kind of thing. I don't know yet, but this is I don't know. I'm trying to start a podcast or something. So this is a beginning. Let me get my voice right for this kind of thing here. Okay. That's probably too low. Anyway, yes, my name is James. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't know what to call this thing. I'm starting. Hey, my name is James. I don't know, but I live in the middle of nowhere. I work an average, not really average job. I build when people ask me what I do, I usually just tell them, I work construction, because that's kind of what I do. But it's a all year round kind of thing, most of the time. But sometimes there'll be a month where, like I said, I live in the middle of Antarctica. I didn't say that, but I live in the middle of nowhere, and basically Midwest, middle of nowhere, flyover states, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, Montana, Wyoming. I live around that area. I'm not gonna put too much out there right now because I'm just I don't want to give out too much details. But I don't want too many people to find out. I don't want too many people that I work with to find what I'm doing, But I'm driving home right now on my way home from work. It is 4:43 in the morning. Yeah, somebody hit a skunk, so it stinks. That's what I'm smelling right now. It's ew. I don't want to. I'll turn off my radio, I guess. I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube or whatever for having music playing in the background, because that's the thing that you can get kicked off of YouTube for. I'm trying to start this thing on YouTube, but I will try and convert this video that I'm recording right now into a music file that I can upload it to Spotify or I don't know, whatever else, podcasts. I know for sure Spotify is something that I want to get into, something that I have a buddy who could hook me up with that kind of thing, maybe give me some insight. And if anybody is watching this, if anybody knows anything about how to record a podcast or how to record something and put it out on the air somewhere, I'll be down. Just let me know. This is going up on YouTube first, so if you see it on YouTube, leave a comment or whatever. I'm gonna have to turn on my defroster here pretty soon, because it's just dipped below 60 degrees Fahrenheit. People who are in other countries or whatever, watching in Celsius. I don't know what 50, it's 57 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but I hope you can hear this, because my phone is, I put my phone in my center console, like in the little, I don't know what, a little area down there. I put it down there. So I hope you can hear this. Yeah, I gotta turn on my defroster, so that's probably gonna get kind of loud. Might muffle the audio a little bit. Might add some background noise. Whatever. Yeah, I'm driving home from work. Today's my birthday. Woo! Just turned 23. So, starting out this podcast, YouTube thing on my birthday. Hoping eventually I can go somewhere with it. I don't know. Hopefully some people listen to it. But yeah, it's Tuesday morning, and I'm driving home because today's my birthday, and my mom's off work tonight, so I'm driving to my parents' place. I'm gonna stay over there. I'd probably wake up about, I don't know, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I'll probably get home about 6 o'clock, 6:30. I'll probably get home, go to sleep around, I don't know, 7. Wake up around 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock. It's like, what, 4 or 5 hours of sleep, but during the work week, I really don't sleep a lot. I don't usually eat a lot during the work week. I work 4:30 in the afternoon, 4:30 p.m., 16:30 to 04 military time. 4:30 p.m. to 4 in the morning. 16:30 to 0400. Put it that way. So I was in the military. Yes. Might be something you're wondering. I was in the military. Yes. I was in the Air Force. I did a year. Fell out of my most I know Army calls it AIT. Marine Corps, they call it MOS school, I think. It's probably like AIT. I don't know what Navy calls it. Probably MOS school. I'm not sure though. I know when I was in the Air Force, I had a lot of Navy friends because I was medical right away, training to be like a combat medic, but not really a combat medic with the Air Force. I mean, with the Air Force, basically being a medic is you just work in a hospital and on a base somewhere, on an Air Force base, and you could either do, there's a lot of things you could do, which I liked. You could do a labor and delivery, OBGYN, kind of nasty for a guy to do that, but it's something you can get stuck with, whatever. I'm not really, like, there's something about me, I'm not really scared or, like, afraid of anything, really. I mean, heights don't scare me. I'm not afraid of spiders or snakes. tight spaces, like claustrophobia, that might be kind of scary to me, but I mean, not too bad. I mean, I used to crawl through like drainage pipes, not drainage pipes, because that sounds bad. That sounds like a sewage thing. Like culverts. I don't know. A lot of people like might not know what a culvert is. I don't know. Something in a ditch, something that goes under the road. It's like a little pipe, like a metal pipe. I used to crawl into them when I was a kid. I mean, kind of fat now. I don't know if I will fit through one of those now. I mean, I could, but I wouldn't dare try it now. But I don't know. I don't know where this conversation is going. Oh, but I was in the Air Force. Okay, I'll just tell you Air Force story real quick. I was in the Air Force. I made it through basic training. No problems, really. Like, that was... Air Force basic training was not really that bad. I mean, not that bad. But I mean, I wasn't in great shape when I went in, but I wasn't in bad shape neither. I didn't have to lose weight to join. I didn't have to gain weight to join. None of that. And I went in, when I went to basic training, I was 5'8", 5'8" inches and 135 pounds. Just put it that way. Only 12 minutes this video's been going on. Wow. Okay, but yeah, I was 5'8", 135 pounds, going to basic training. I graduated basic training, and I was 21 when I joined, 21 when I went through basic training, graduated basic training. I didn't have my birthday in basic training, which some people did, and having your birthday there, honestly, like, to me, would be kind of depressing. So, if you're thinking about joining military branch, don't join if you know it's going to be your birthday when you go through. I mean, if you do, it's all you. It's up to you. I mean, good for you if you do. Because, it's just something I'd like to celebrate on my own time, not... Like, the hardest part for me was just the time crunch kind of thing, just the time. You're pretty much just sitting around waiting to get out, as soon as you get there. The first night is intense. There's a lot of, not really screaming yet, but there will be screaming. But it's not bad. It's not bad. Just know that it is whoever's screaming at you, whoever's yelling at you, just know that it is their job to do that. It is their job to mold you and break you down into something, and then build you up into something, and build you up into whatever service, They break you down and then they build you up. So that's just know, when they're yelling at you, when they're screaming at you, don't take it personally. Like, it's something that they're doing their job. It's something they gotta do. But the first night that you go to basic training, it's like, you'll get there and your thoughts will be racing when you finally find your bed and sleep in it. go to sleep pretty much at the nighttime whenever you get there. For me, it was I got there like 12 o'clock or something, and they gave us this duffel bag and they put a bunch of like supplies in there. I don't even remember. They gave us a backpack, I guess. They gave us a duffel bag, I think. This was like a year and a half ago. So I'm sure there's other YouTube videos that you can find that tell you what it's like, and tell you what the first day is like, the first night as soon as you get there is like. Don't watch the official videos though. If you want to, you can, but the official videos put like a bad image out there. The official videos, like, that they show you, it's a lot of yelling and screaming, and like it's not like that. Once you're there, it's kind of like, okay, I'm here, this is what they're telling me to do, this is what I gotta do, just listen to what they tell you and just do it. It's like a normal civilian job, pretty much. Like a normal job. It's like your first day. You show up, you're confused. You get people that just tell you what to do. Just do it. Don't complain. As soon as you complain, like, you're gonna, especially in the military, like, your first day, you're already complaining. You're gonna put a target on your back that you don't want. They're gonna, like, they will remember you. It's like, my first day, they gave us this backpack, and they made us, they had this little Velcro thing on the back that they put this little white strip on there, little thing of Velcro, and you write your name on that. And I remember, like, I wrote my name, like, in big capital letters in Sharpie marker. And yes, they give you a Sharpie to write on that with, but I just learned after a couple days, on that white little strip that goes on the back of your backpack, don't write your name in huge letters, because they will remember your name. They will remember your name. They will know who you are. If you write it small, they can't see it when you're marching in line, when you're marching in the group. They can't see it, so they ain't gonna call you out for nothing. You're new. It's when you just gotta go with the flow. I wrote my name huge. Like, I wrote my name huge on that white strip. And I have a weird last name, so they were trying to, like, read it, and they were scared to say my last name. They didn't want to. So they didn't bother with me, because my last name is weird. I'll get to that in another video. But as far as the Air Force was, I made it through basic training. But I didn't graduate AIT, tech school, MOS school, whatever you want to call it. Different branches say different things, but in the Air Force, they call it tech school. Like, I went in figuring tech school would be like, oh, okay, it's like tech school. It's like a college, but it's hands-on. Like, it's a tech school. It's all hands-on. I didn't expect that I would have to take a bunch of tests like written study this and take this book test. I didn't expect that it would be like that. Pretty much that was what got me. I mean, I guess you can blame it on the fact that I didn't really study too hard. I didn't study a lot. I hated school when I was in high school, when I was in elementary school, middle school. I hated school. I went through and they're like wanting me to take these tests, and medical school was like, I graduated basic training and went to like medical school pretty much to be a combat medic pretty much, but not really. I talked about this before. Air Force was like, you can work at a hospital, you can work in a bunch of different departments, and I was supposed to go to Alaska for my first like assignment, and didn't make it that far, I guess. So I failed out of medical school, and failed out of medical school. They sent me to a different school to be a engine mechanic pretty much for cargo airplanes, and that was like rocket science to me. You hear people say like, oh, that's rocket scientist, or you're a rocket scientist. Like, that's what it was. I was dumbfounded. I mean, after, like, my sense of like my mental state once I got to this new place, you know, I'm like, I was just frustrated. Like, I gotta start all over again. I gotta meet a whole bunch of new people. I gotta learn something completely different from what I learned before. Right off the bat, like, I just wasn't having a good time. I just wasn't into it. I just wasn't feeling it. And then, you know, after a little bit, I was like, okay, I guess I can try. I'll try, learn something new, see what's going on here, see what I have to do, see what. And especially with engine mechanics, you know, I figured that would especially be really hands-on. And what put me down right away was they made us study like booklets. They made us study like a freaking packet of information that they would go over in a classroom setting, you know. They would have a teacher that's like in that career field that got just assigned to come teach us about all this stuff. And like, okay, cool, but it's all out of this little packet, and they teach us about it, and then I'm sitting there like a full day. I mean, was like, I can't I'm not really allowed to say times. I kind of signed it. I can't even talk about that. I signed an agreement when I got out, I guess. That basically was like, I can't tell you what time I went to school, what time I got out of school. I can't tell you about that, but it was like 6 or 7 hours a day. And we got like little breaks here and there. I mean, I guess that's good enough. I could probably tell you that. This is little things. I remember that getting out was so weird, but this classroom thing, they teach us all this stuff in class, and I'm reading this book and trying to study, and take my book home and study that, and go back to school the next day, and we gotta take a test, and I can't remember all this stuff. And they're like, oh, make flashcards, make notes, take notes in class, make flashcards. I made hundreds of flashcards. I took pages upon pages of notes. I studied a lot, and I still couldn't get it. And then I failed a test, retook it, passed, but got like a 70. Like, 70's still passing, so they'll give you a chance. If you fail a test, you can retake it, and then if you retake it and pass, you're good. But if you fail a test 3 times, not even in a row, if you fail 3 tests, it was just weird. If you fail a test, retake the test, pass it, fail the next test that you take, pass that, fail the next test, you're done. So that's what happened to me. I passed the first test with like a 95%. I did really good my first test. Like, not the best of the class, but there was a lot of people that struggled with the first test. And then second test, I just bombed it. Got like a 60% or something. I don't even remember. Retook it, passed, got a 70. Third test, bombed that, got like a 50%. Retook it, passed with a 70. Then the fourth test, was like a hands-on test, I think. I don't even know. Don't really remember. But I passed the fourth test. The fifth test, I passed that with a 70. The sixth test was hands-on, and it was like, okay, it was all hands-on stuff, and it was like, alright, they have a bunch of big, like, engines, jet engine kind of things in this little bay or whatever, and they're like, okay, go to whatever engine you want, pretty much. You can choose any of them. And you're like, alright, take this off, come back to me with this part, tell me what it is, tell me what it does, and then put it back on. And there was like 30, 40 some parts. And it was like a timed test. And they gave us like, I don't know, 2 weeks. 2 weeks to do it. So you'd have to take off multiple parts in one day. And if you struggle with one part, it puts you behind. And right off the bat, it was like putting stuff back on. I mean, I took it off or whatever. I was like, here it is. This is what it is. This is what it does. They're like, all right, go put it back on. I go put it back on, and you had to like wire some stuff together. It's hard to explain, but you had to like wire some stuff, metal wire, and it's hard to explain, but you had to do that. The guy would come over and look at it, and he's like, "No, this looks bad. Do it over." Even if it'd be good, they would just mess with you. Like, it could be good. You could ask one guy. You could ask. There was two people who were like the teachers or whatever, and they would come and inspect your stuff or whatever, and they would come and look at it. And, you could ask one person, like, "Hey, is this good?" And he'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's good. Go on to your next part." Or you'd ask the other guy, and the other guy'd be like, "No, bad. Do it over." So eventually I figured out who the good person was. And I would always just get them to come and look at my stuff. But right away, I asked the other guy, and he always threw me for a loop, and always was just like, "No, this is not good." And that put me behind right away, and then eventually I got more and more behind, and then eventually, like, all my other classmates are done, and then got like 2 or 3 days left, and everybody's done already with everything, and I'm still out there working, and I got like 10 parts left to take apart, put back on, and all that. So I just thought that was a bunch of crap. And I mean, there's a couple other people that I know that have been in my shoes, that have gone through the same thing with that school, especially, that have got kicked out. The same, like, hands-on test that I was doing. Probably the same person who was, like, in charge, judging if it was good or not. I don't want to jump to conclusions or anything. I don't want to put too much out there, but I probably already did. But, whatever. I'm already out, done with that crap now, so whatever. But yeah, so then after that, I failed out of that, and they were like, "Alright, that's your third test fail. You're done." Like, that's it for this. And like, I was hoping, well, maybe they could send me to a different job, something I actually want to do. No. I never got that option. And they basically took it as I was, like, purposely trying to fail. They took it as that. They were like, I got out of this meeting with this high up guy and an officer, and like a military officer, not like a police officer, nothing. I think I just ran over a skunk, or somebody else did. I don't know. But I got out of this meeting, and then I was talking to these other guys that were like higher up people, and one of them was just a real ass. He was just, I really hated this guy. And if I ever like take this podcast thing serious, I'm gonna get some of my Air Force buddies to hop on here, and we'll do like a group phone call or something, or voice chat or whatever, and I'll like record it. And there's a lot of screwed up things with the Air Force. There's a lot of screwed up things with the military. And it just upsets me because 2019 is the suicide rate of Air Force people has been like the highest it's ever been in the past couple years. And they're not, like, what it seems like to me is they're not really doing anything about it. They're not, like, it's a lot of leadership people, and I completely understand that because I've dealt with some really shitty leadership. And now, like, I'm just glad I'm out, because that place I was at was a hellhole. Like, it was terrible. I got out of that meeting though, and this guy was like, so basically what it seems to me like is you don't want to be in the Air Force anymore, right? I'm like, I mean, if you give me a chance, if you give me an option, I'd love to stay in and do something I actually want to do. Like, I tried, you know. I'd love to stay in, and I tried. That's all I can do. And then basically from that point, he's just like, whatever. You're getting discharged. Here's your paperwork. Sign this. Whatever. I guess I'll go home. Like, that was a rough time. And then what really sucked was I had to wait around for like 2-3 months after that, just sitting around, like, waiting to get kicked out because they had problems with legal, like, paperwork or whatever had to go through, and that took a while. So that took forever, and so I was just sitting around waiting for 2-3 months until I finally got out, got my discharge paperwork, got my honorable discharge, because I'm a good kid. I'm a good dude. I didn't get into no trouble. I didn't do no bad. I tried, like I said, I tried. It just didn't work. 5:19 now. It's been going on for like almost 40 minutes. Suppose I'll end this video, podcast, whatever, wherever you're listening to this. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message, leave a comment. If you want to hear or see more, let me know too. That's about it. I'm almost home.